Now, these details don't really have an impact on the calculations, but some of these details are picked up automatically from the other sheet, which is your construction cost, sale price, and revenue sheet. And we'll look at it. But if you ever wanted to put in more details, like for example, gross site area is about, let's say, 1950 square meters, because we are going with square meters here. You can put that in here, and your density FSR is expressed in two different ways. It can be given out as a ratio or a percentage. Now it will automatically use the one of them, and I'll show you which one. But FSR stands for floor space ratio. It is also known as FAR, which is floor area ratio. And what it is telling you is that out of the 1950 square meters, or the unit of measurement that I've got, I'm allowed to build on 60% of the land, for example. So I can change that to 1.5 is the one, or change that to 0. And when I click on save and refresh, this will do the calculation for me based on the number that I put in. So now, because I've gone with this, so what this is telling me is that on a block of land, I can build that much area. Now, this is usually used when you are doing a high-rise development, so it is going to be 3 levels, 4 levels, 5 levels, and so on. But when you're using a townhouse development or something, it could be just 60%, and you can change that, and then it will give you the 60% of that amount. So you have to remember that which one are you going with. So 1.5 is to 1, that means this is a higher density building. That means you are allowed to build more than the actual site area. Whereas if you put 60%, that means you're just doing townhomes, and they know that on a block of land that's 1950 in area, I can only do 60% coverage. So I'll be able to cover the ground for 60% of it. So it depends upon what you are developing there. So it has both options here, but whichever one you select, if you're going with this, you just make sure that this one's 0, because then it is picking up the calculation based on the ratio that you put in. But if you put in the percentage over here, it will pick up the calculation based on the percentage covered area and all those things. Now, these calculations will populate automatically based on what we do in the next tab, and which we'll do later on. But then you've got details like garden area, so you can put that value in manually. Actual site coverage, you can put that value in manually. Permeable area, you can put that in value again manually. And you've got this is garden area per unit, which you can put that in manually as well. But this does not really have an impact on your calculations or numbers. This is only for reporting purposes. And once you fill this thing out, you don't really need to fill out any of this, because this data will automatically get calculated and get populated over here. Bottom again, we have some bank details. Now, this again is not required for lead developer. It has been put in because lead developer plus, you can hook up your bank account, and it will look for your bank account name and pull in the transactions for you, and compare them to your feasibility as your project is running. So in that scenario, you can put in those details over here, the name or whatever you want to use it, or whatever you want to use or call it. And you've got options to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 basically. So you can basically go up to this point and have 5 different bank accounts, and it will track all 5 for you. But you just need to have them in there only if you go towards lead developer plus, which will happen later on. But for lead developer by itself, you don't really need it. So let's zoom out and we'll show you what we've covered. So on this sheet, all we've done is we've selected a date. All the other details got selected automatically from our lead master data. We selected when our first finance is going to happen and when our construction is going to happen. In this example, we are not using land loan refinance, mezzanine finance or developer's loan. Now I will come back to this when we are in the finance section and quickly show you, if you had enabled them as yes, what impact would it have on your overall feasibility. Now you have to move into the next section. Now always remember, this one is save and next. Now although this is set up in a spreadsheet, it has a full code in the background that does all the calculations. If you keep jumping around, you come over here, change a few things, and then you come over there, you change a few things. Always remember that if you change something over here and you want the effect to go all the way towards the end, you have to click on save and next and move on to the next sheet, because then all calculations get updated and you are in the next sheet, in the next step from that point on. So we'll dive into this in the next video.